What's going on, friends? Harley-Davidson's Milwaukee 8 actually has a hidden flaw. It's been there since the first bikes rolled out of the factory in 2017. But now we are just finally starting to see a lot more of these bikes start to come up with this issue. But not to worry, it's nothing that's extremely catastrophic. It's actually a pretty simple, quick, easy fix, and not to mention, it is mildly inexpensive when we're talking in Harley terms here. Now, in the days of the Evolution engine and the twin cam, this is something that we never had to deal with. I'm talking about the intake manifold on your Harley-Davidson Milwaukee 8. As many of you may know, these are actually made out of, we'll just say plastic. It's some kind of composite plastic anyhow, but it is very lightweight, it's cheap to make, and arguably it does maybe make the bikes a little lighter, but when it comes to a Harley, I don't really see what difference that's going to make. But guys, it's just the world we live in today. Everything's got to be made quicker, faster, cheaper. But as I mentioned, if you do it yourself, it's actually extremely inexpensive. Because whoever thought to take plastic and made it up to hot aluminum, I don't know. They have a better engineering degree than I do because I don't even have one. Guys, please don't forget, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. For years now, the intake manifold on the Milwaukee 8 engines has been this composite plastic. Now, we already kind of foresaw this coming down the pipe in the future because you can't exactly mate a composite plastic up to aluminum, especially in the environment that it lives in, and expect it to last absolutely forever. So if you've got a Milwaukee 8 that's maybe stumbling a little bit, backfiring, popping, basically giving you signs of maybe it's running a little bit lean, it might be actually because it is. Those plastic composite intakes on these Milwaukee 8s, living between the cylinders over time, they do warp, they do crack, and you gotta imagine the extreme amount of heat that comes off a Harley-Davidson. Yes, I know they've used them in cars for years, but come on. Cars and motorcycles, that's basically apples to oranges in a lot of respects. Those engines have much different demands, especially considering on the Harley, the environment is a lot harsher where that piece is living. Now, on the earlier models, we really didn't see this a whole lot as they had just came out, and surprisingly, it's taken quite a few years for these manifolds to actually start cracking and breaking and warping, but now even the new bikes are starting to experience this. Guys are getting these intake manifolds replaced under warranty on their newer motorcycles, which is really surprising to me, especially considering how long the older ones actually lasted. Now, as I mentioned, it's not extremely expensive to repair, but if you're under warranty, you might ask them like, hey, can I go ahead and upgrade to maybe the Screamin Eagle, the cast piece? Because they do make a 55mm intake manifold that's like 200 bucks from Harley-Davidson, and it'll still fit your stock throttle body. That is a great option to definitely consider looking into, especially if you're still under warranty, and seeing maybe if you could pay the difference on that cast piece or part of it and get your labor done for nothing under warranty like it should be. Because that is my #1 issue with warranties right there. They're gonna go back with a genuine OEM part in most cases, and in my mind, I'm kind of like, why would I go back with a part that already failed early once, and I have to bring my bike back in, have more downtime? I mean, you gotta think, it's not costing you any money, but you can't buy any more time. And time is the enemy, especially on motorcycles. So if you have your intake replaced on your newer Milwaukee 8, and then you have to go back to the dealer again because it's doing it the same thing that you experienced before and get it replaced with the exact same part, yeah, that cuts into your riding season, and who has time to take off work to take your bike to the dealership unless you're going to do it on a Saturday, and they're probably not going to look at it even until like next Thursday. Now, as I mentioned, if you're not under warranty, you can do this yourself. It's pretty easy to do if you're comfortable with removing the gas tank and getting down there and getting some room to work. Now, obviously on the touring bikes with the dash and some of that setup, that's going to be a little bit more involved than say if you have a cruiser model. But guys, there's a plethora of options out there of actual cast intake manifolds to replace those plastic ones on the Milwaukee 8s. And honestly, guys, S&S makes them, Revolution Performance makes them, Screamin Eagle has them, V2N Power Sports has them. I mean, take your pick, guys. They're all right around $200. And the best part is, if you're just going back with a 55mm intake, your stock throttle body will still bolt up to that because that's basically what it's made for. You're not going to have any issues there. Now, they do say that you are going to need tuning done after you bolt one of these on. I don't really buy into that so much. As you all know, I'm really big on tuning when you make absolutely any changes to the motorcycle, but I do believe you probably should get that done. But in my opinion, if you're already tuned for a stage 1, like if you've got an air cleaner, slip-ons, full exhaust, I think you're going to be fine right there. I would suggest, though, if your tuner has an auto-tune option, go ahead and run that with the new intake manifold installed. Because these new intake manifolds, while they are still 55mm, they do say that they basically deliver air better, is the best way I could put it. You get a more efficient air delivery into the engine. Not a bigger volume or more air, just more efficient. So they do say that you can probably pick up a couple horsepower on there, and I believe with a little more efficient air delivery, it's highly possible. Now, I will caution you, though, if you get out there and you say, oh, wow, look at that 64mm version, you're going to have to buy a new throttle body at that point, and not only are you going to have to buy a new throttle body, you are going to have to buy a new air cleaner that will fit the 64mm throttle body. But on the flip side of that, it is a great time to upgrade if you got a motor that can handle that. If you don't have a large displacement engine that's moving a lot of air, you're wasting your money buying a 64mm intake manifold, throttle body, and air cleaner. It's probably warped, could be cracked. As cheap as they are, honestly, you could go out and get one on eBay for about 40 bucks, but why risk it? Just go ahead and upgrade and get the cast piece. It'll save you a lot of time, money, and headaches down the road. But anyhow, guys, that's all I've got for you this week. If you guys enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. But till next week, guys, you stay safe on the streets, ride smart, dodge those cars. I'll catch you guys back here next week with a brand new video. Thanks for watching.